My name is Arike Modile. Welcome back. I haven't recorded any video in such a long time. I believe the last time I recorded was 2023. I believe so. And a lot of things have happened from 2023 till 2025. But it's been in my heart, it's been on my heart to just keep putting out things, push out videos. And I'm back in 2025. No grief for anybody. I'm going to be talking a lot about education in the US, visa applications, opportunities, also talk about life in diaspora, talk about my faith, and maybe sometimes still give you a little bit of content or what does the law say. We'll see how that goes. But for now, welcome. Today's topic is it too late to apply for grad schools in the US? Hmm. Is it too late? Let's find out. So to avoid stories that touch, let's go right into the video. So I want to talk about whether it's too late to apply for grad school in the US. And this I divided into two parts. And the reason why I divided into two parts is because I believe some people might have questions as regards, either of them. And so that's why I did that. The first is it too late as regards the time in your life? And the second is it too late as regards the time of the year now? So first, let's address the first thing. Is it too late as regards the time in your life? First thing I want you to note if you're watching this video is nothing is too late, right? You might be watching this video as a 20-year-old person, or as a 40-year-old person, or as a 60-year-old person, whoever you are, nothing is too late, right? Growing up, I realized that we all had different ideas, different wants, different desires, different things I wanted to do when we grew up. Some people started school at 5, some people started school at 3, and then we're all grown up now, all excelling in our careers, right? So my point is age doesn't really matter when it comes to fulfilling destiny and doing that which God has called you upon the earth to do. So, in case you're wondering that I'm 31, can I still go to grad school? I'm 35. Is it too late to go to grad school? I'm almost 50. Is it too late to go to grad school? The answer to that is no. Nothing is ever too late. If you still want it, if your heart is in it, if you desire to go through the process, nothing is ever too late, right? So it's not too late for you in this time of your life to go to grad school if you want to. Do you want to pursue that PhD? Go ahead. Do you want to start your master's? Don't think about it. Just start it. Somebody's story that I draw inspiration from strongly is Reverend Funke Felix Adejumo. You probably might know her. She's a popular preacher. She speaks a lot on relationships. She's a powerful woman of God. And in the last couple of years, she's been posting a lot of her, experience going back to the university and studying law. Reverend Funke is in her 60s and she has gone back to the university to study law that is 5 years. And she's probably going to go to law school after that. My point is, nothing is ever too late. So, in case you're wondering whether you should go to grad school or even go back to school at all, nothing is ever too late, right? And this also applies to anything that has to do with your life. Whatever it is that you realize you ought to have done years ago and you want to do it now, get at it. There is a proverb that says that the best time for you to have done something was 20 years ago. The next best time is now that you're hearing about it. So if you want to do that, go ahead. Next thing as regards, is it too late for me to apply for grad school? Is it too late now, February 2025, for me to apply for grad school? The answer to that question also is no. It's not too late to apply for grad school in February 2025 if you want to apply, at least within the US that I know of. And the reason why I say it's not too late is quite a number of schools started their application in December. Some of them might have like early application deadlines for like January, but there's still a number of schools, a lot of schools in the US that still have their applications open. Some of them had it up until March or even, running into May. But I'm going to just help you with all the various application deadlines so that you know which one to look out for and how to best, make use of it. So it is graduate application season. A lot of schools expect that you're applying. They expect that you're sending in your, you know, SOPs, your applications, and all and whatnot. So it is the season for that. If you want to still apply, go ahead and apply. But one thing you must notice, some schools have rolling admission. So what does rolling admission mean? Rolling admission means that those schools accept applications continually, right? They can accept it, 6 weeks into the deadline. They can accept it even right after. They might not even have, so to speak, a deadline, right? It just means that they keep accepting applications rolling and they keep admitting people maybe every 6 weeks or every 8 weeks, depending on how the semester or the system of that school works. Secondly, is international application deadline. This is very important if you're an international student. You want to look out for international application deadline. And the reason why you want to look out for it is different for those that are US citizens, right? There's the domestic application deadline and there's the international applicant. Pardon me. There's the domestic applicant deadline and there's the international applicant deadline, or also international application deadline, whichever you like to call it. And the reason why it's important for you to notice that most times the deadline for citizens of the US, or green card holders of the US, is still farther away. You can see June 1st for a domestic application deadline. Meanwhile, an international application deadline can be in April or might be in May. So you want to note this. If your school has an international application deadline, please make sure that you stick to that time, submit it before or submit it on or before that day, so that you can, be a part of those that your admission will be considered. If you want your admission to be considered, you want to submit on or before that time. We also have the early deadline. Early deadline means that those that want to submit their application earlier than, you know, maybe some also some late applicants. There's an early deadline. They want to process some people first, some people early enough. The first set of people that submit, they have that, and then they now have a final application deadline. So final application means this is the final one for this batch. This is the final one for this process. After this one, the next time you have to apply is probably the next semester or the next year, depending on what the program is or depending on what the school is and how their system works. So you have the early deadline. They want you to apply as soon as possible, maybe 4 weeks or 5 weeks into when the application was opened. And then you have the final application deadline, which means that this is the final one. There's no one after this until the next year, until the next semester. Some other schools also have recommended application deadline, and this means that the schools have a time that they recommend that you apply, either because of the volume of application or because of the benefits of applying within that time. Some schools also ask you or recommend that you apply within this time, just to avoid maybe being deferred to the next year, or your application not being, or you not getting admission at that point in time, or the class being full on time. So it depends on the school and depends on what their quota is for that semester. And now I move on to the benefits, because I just mentioned benefits, right? Sometimes they expect that, or they recommend that you apply within a certain time so that you can partake of the benefits. Now, what is the benefit, or what are the benefits of applying early? Because you might wonder, oh, if I don't apply now, I can apply later. Why wait till later? Right? If you can apply now, there are benefits of applying early. One very important benefit is that you get to be considered for a scholarship. I remember during my LLM program, my Masters of Law program, after applying, I realized that I was given some amount of money for merit scholarship. I was awarded a merit scholarship, right, based on academic achievement. But this was also because I applied early. Some people got less than that amount. Some people got more than the amount I got because they also submitted early. So it's possible that when you submit your application early, way before the deadline, you are considered for a merit scholarship. And most of those merit scholarships, you don't have to put in any other application or write any other essay or whatever. All you just need to do is just apply on time and they consider you for it. It can be partial scholarship, but at least some money will be lifted off if you don't have a full scholarship. So that's a good benefit and advantage for you, that if you apply early, you'll be considered for a merit scholarship. Another benefit of applying early is that you get an early response. So if you're able to submit your application on time or submit it within the early deadline, they're able to answer you or respond to you on time. If you get the admission, they will send you admission letter, and then that would also help you in the next step. You'll get your I-20 once you accept the offer, and then you're able to move on in your admission process. So the second benefit of applying early is that you get an early response, or you're likely going to get an early response compared to someone that submitted on the day of the final application deadline. Thirdly, which stems from the second point, is that once you get an early response, you get the documents that you use to apply for your visa. As an international student, bear in mind that this is in relation to international students. So if you're able to get your admission, they send you the document known as the I-20, and you need the I-20 to apply for your visa. So once you're able to get that, to help your process. So another benefit of applying early is that you're able to get an earlier date. So if you get your admission on time, you're able to start looking for a date on time. You're able to get an earlier visa date, and plan yourself properly, in relation plan yourself properly in terms of when you want to leave, and then just getting ready to resume school. So those are the three top benefits for me. There might be more out there, but three top ones are the possibility of getting a scholarship, partial, depending on what your school likes to do. Secondly, you get an early response, and then thirdly, you're able to get an early visa date because you're able to apply early. I hope this helps in case you're considering of applying to grad school here in the US. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Don't forget, like, share, and then subscribe. Bye. Bye bye.